you, Dan, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to start with an anecdote, and it was in 2001, 11 years ago. And it was a conference, and we had probably most of the senior executives of the European telecommunication. And there was a guest speaker, and the guest speaker was Mr. Kondratis. And this is the first CEO of Akamai Technologies. And he told us a story. He told us that video traffic and music traffic is going to become extremely relevant in the internet. And he told us, and you know what? The people that will be offering those video services and other services, they will care about the customer experience that the customer gets at the end of his broadband connections. And he told us, and you know what? They're going to be ready to pay for it. And he told us, and you know what? You're going to miss it. You, the carriers, you're going to miss it. Because when you think about quality of service, you're thinking about the size of your pipes. And that's the only thing you can do. That's the only way for you to conceive networks. And that's not the way to create quality of service in the internet. You don't understand the internet, he told us. Yeah. It's going to be about storage. It's going to be about caching. It's going to be about a whole lot of new techniques that you are not mastering. And the sad thing is the anecdote is true. And the sad thing is he was right. He was right because, or I would say it's a positive and it's a sad thing, because the positive thing is, yes, OTNTs pay billions for quality of service today. They do. They do because else customers or companies like Akamai would not exist. It's what they're making their money off. But he was right, we missed it. We, the carriers, we missed it. And I think there's a lot to learn about this. But let's start with quality of service. So the good thing is it exists. We don't have to invent it. We don't have to establish it. It exists. And OTNTs are spending a whole lot of money, billions per year, to get quality of service for the end customer experience. So we should offer it. But we have to think about innovative service concept. It's not only about the size of pipes. And by the way, we believe that it doesn't require regulation. It doesn't require regulation in no way. Because you don't need to protect OTNTs, because none of us can afford to deteriorate the user experience, I don't know, on YouTube to such an extent that the customer won't be able to use it anymore, or that it won't be pleasant for the customer anymore. The customer is free in choosing his access provider. So the OTNTs don't need to be protected. But we don't need the regulator either to create commercial models that will help us monetizing quality of service. We should just be innovative and not look backwards, but look forwards. That's why basically I believe that, for example, the ITR topic is not at all the right solution. Because thinking about the time that it would take to implement, think about where we stand in our industry. In our industry, in 5 years, we will have, for our residential customers, in Switzerland, like in other countries, quite a significant footprint of NGA connections. And we will have good, cheap residential routers that will provide a gigabit of bandwidth. We will not be talking about 100 megabits in 5 years. We're going to talk about a gigabit of bandwidth. And you know what? Some of us will use and offer to our customers symmetric bandwidth. And you know what that's going to do? It's going to change the whole traffic model. It's going to change the whole traffic model. Because today, as the upstream on our broadband connection is limited, we have some traffic patterns in our network, which leads to a concentration of traffic on the peering points of the network. Could it be that with NGA, that with rising upstream connections, the traffic patterns will change fundamentally? That trying to control the peering points will not allow you to control at all the load on your networks? We think it could be. It could be. Because peer-to-peer traffic is going to be a huge mass of traffic on our networks. Yeah? And therefore, This brings me to my second topic from quality of service. Yeah. It's about end customer pricing. Because it's not the OTNTs that are pushing the data on the networks. It's the customers that are pulling the data. And in the near future, the customers will be pushing the data. They will not only be pulling data, they will be pushing data. And it's going to change fundamentally the paradigm, and we have to think about our pricing mechanisms. And to be honest, I think our industry has not a good track record in terms of pricing models. I mean, when we first tested GPRS, it was in 2002, 2003. Already at that point, it was obvious that the SMS business model would not be sustainable. Because whoever understands IP understood at that point of time, SMS is not sustainable. We grew it to a multi-billion business, and we maintained it, and we overstretched it. And what did we do? We created the innovation by doing that today hurts our business. If we would have been more proactive on our pricing model, some OTNTs like WhatsApp would never have become big. But today it's too late. Today it's too late because they have demonstrated to the customer that this service can be for free, and therefore the customer doesn't attach any value anymore to that service. And you know, soon there's going to be iVoice that's going to be coming. You know that iVoice is going to be coming. And you know that it's going to disrupt your voice business. And still, there's a lot of pricing out there that can be disrupted by iVoice. The issue is, in this industry, if you don't cannibalize yourself, somebody else will do it. And believe me, it's better to cannibalize yourself rather than leaving it others to do it. And on the voice business, voice must be unlimited in every broadband connection today. There's no way around that. And you know what? It's going to become worse. Because it's going to continue with TV. TV is the next voice of IP. Yeah? Because as broadband connections rise, as broadband becomes more and more performant, well, every internet player of this world can provide quality TV services. And you can be sure there will be internet players that will provide it for free. You can be sure. Yeah? So TV is going to become free. Good news. Good news. So what's our business turning on? It's turning to an access business. And you know what? An access business is a good business. An access business is a good business because the expectation of our customers towards the quality of this access, towards the security of this access, towards the performance of this access, towards the availability of this access, well, these expectations are going to rise continuously. And wherever we migrated our business models to a subscription-based business model, we only see one direction for ARPUs. They are increasing. It's the metered business that hurts our industry since 10 years, and that will continue to do so as long as we have some of that. The business model of the future is access. The good thing is the customer expectation towards this access will continuously rise, and with correct pricing model, I am convinced that this is a growing business. But we have to get out of this old, historical voice business, SMS business, TV business, because they have to become free. So you better think about pricing models that allows you to give it for free to your customers, bundled in your access in an unlimited way, before others do it. Just let me mention a thing that we did with this respect, but that's showing how fundamental this belief is. We have launched in June a fundamental new price paradigm on mobile. That means that on all our mobile subscriptions, voice is unlimited, SMS is unlimited, and data is unlimited. The differentiation is only on speed. Is only on speed, meaning the model that we know from the broadband fixed business. And you know what? Customer acceptance is phenomenal. Phenomenal. And we have in small Switzerland, after 8 weeks of operation, already more than 500,000 customers on these pricing models. We tripled our net additions. We significantly raised our market share with a new pricing paradigm that offers total freedom and the customer chooses on something that he can't choose on speed. Yeah. So he can choose whether he's wearing desigual, channel, or something else. Let me touch a third point, responsibility. Responsibility. I think if we are in the situation that regulation has really damaged our business, that regulation has been to an extreme where it endangers investments, well, we have a part of responsibility in it. Because in some areas of our business, we behaved in a way where we triggered this regulation. And roaming is an example of that. And even though European roaming prices are now regulated, we are not through it. We are not through it. And we will only be through it on the day that we offer customers the choice to escape on the local level, to choose at local level their provider. That's the day that we will have real competition on roaming, and that's the day that this topic is going to be off the regulatory agenda, but not before. But not before. So there are a couple of things where we have to be, I think, more forward-looking, because else we're not going to get out of this regulatory energy that is there on a permanent level. Last, level play. And there has been a lot of talks about level play. And yes, there has to be some, in terms, for example, of data protection and so on, there has been a level play. There has to be a level play between carriers and OTTs. But also, there has to be a level play between telcos and cable company. This is not the case today. You know, if cable companies in Europe were forced to provide bitstream access, bitstream broadband access, we wouldn't have all this discussion on pricing model, on pricing regulation and so on, because we would have wholesale competition. We would have wholesale competition, and it would rule everything. We have to have a level field also between fixed net and mobile. For years, the fixed networks have subsidized the mobile networks through mobile termination rates. This was historically right to create infrastructure competition on the mobile side. But for the last 5 to 8 years, it's already wrong. Because return on capital is much higher on mobile than on fixed network. If you think about the investments that are required going forward per capita on the mobile side, on the fixed net side, they are much higher on the fixed net side. So today, interconnection rates or termination rates on the mobile side, they should be at the level of fixed net side. Yeah? Because today still, the fixed net infrastructures are subsidizing the mobile infrastructures, which is totally wrong in the context of the investment challenges that we are facing. And finally, there are a couple of interesting regulatory challenges, and it's not specifically related to telco regulation, but to broadcasting regulation between broadcasters, OTTs, and telcos. And here, again, a question of leveling play. With that, I fundamentally believe in the future of our business. I think there's really differentiation potential on the quality of access. We have it on our hands. We should stop blaming the OTTs for damaging our business. Thank you very much.